Hey everybody, I don't like doing this sort of thing, but this is a video complaint regarding a company called Fund&Grow and one of their employees named Joshia Page. And Mr. Page contacted me out of the blue to sell a kind of membership that if I were to pay $3,000 or $4,000 would, according to what he was telling me, give me access to credit cards with limits of up to $250,000. And there was no, you know, at first the way they made it sound is like, oh, this is a cinch. And then he rolled in the whole monthly fee thing. $3,000, $4,000. So I immediately thought of those, secured credit cards. And I thought, hey, these are the kind of schemes that they use to, go and hunt out black folks to be part of. Seriously. I learned this a long time ago from a gentleman on a flight sitting next to him who actually was the person who made algorithms that guided actuaries for credit card companies. And he was telling me about how they guided where these companies are supposed to contact certain customers by the demographic and more information and some, not a little bit of racial assumptions in the system, the formulaic system they develop. And I was saying to Joshua, hey, this is one of these schemes. I'm tired of this because I get this all the time. And yet I have a C Corp. I'm looking for a kind of financing that allows me to use the business and not my personal profile. My credit's pretty good. Cha-ching, all right. But I didn't want to do that at all. He explains that, well, that's just for people who are paying millions of dollars to buy their equipment and everything. No, I don't have that kind of money, so I could never possibly at all use our C Corp as the basis for a purchase, in spite of the fact that Zenny 62 Media is on Dun & Bradstreet. We have our own DUNS number. It's a separate person, okay, with a purchase history. So what he's saying is wrong. And I was kindly trying to explain to the man that WalletHub had sent Zenny 62 Media a press release regarding a finding that they had of locations, which states had the most people who had delinquencies, right? I started crunching the numbers and I figured out that the states that had the most delinquencies were also the states that had a very small African-American population, surprisingly, right? But they still kept, the credit card companies still kept giving the population credit at favorable rates and terms. So here I am. We're not in a poor area, but we are in an area that has a healthy black population percentage. This is the Atlanta metro area. I was trying to explain that to him. Instead, he started getting upset. I don't want to hear this race. I don't want to hear. My wife is Mexican and she gets better rates than I do. Well, okay, he didn't give me a chance to say it, but you know what? He's in a household, all right? And they are judged differently as a household. So I happened to find him on social media. I'm not going to say where. And he's white and conservative. How do I know that? Because he puts on his social media page these words. He writes, how did he put it? He writes, conservative, family first, hardworking, and happiness. Okay, why is it so important to announce that you're conservative? I don't care. I have white male friends who are conservative. They're Republican. Big deal. What matters is how good a person you are. But the one thing that you should always do in any walk of life is just listen to the other person's talk. He didn't need to do that. He could have let me express how frustrated I was and then get an ample amount of opportunity to say, well, we're not like that and here's why. He didn't take that opportunity. Instead, he hung up because he didn't want to hear someone talk about racism. which means somewhere back there, he's got an idea regarding racism. He can't say he doesn't recognize race because he was telling me his wife is Mexican. All right. His wife actually is not dark. And there are different designations of Hispanic and Latino between white and black. Check your census. Okay. So, but all of that shouldn't be something I have to explain. He had no business hanging up on me. And that's precisely what he did. And I understand that R.E. Page is the CEO and founder. R.E. Page, Joshua Page, I guess they're related. You know, we're all in business together. Remember that. I'm a founder. Ari, you're a founder. Joshia, you work for a founder. Respect that. If someone has something to say or talk about, it's your job to sell them. After all, that's why you contacted me, wasn't it? All right. I checked out you guys' Better Business ratings. Oh, you got to work on that. You're in a place where people really do need assistance in raising money. You can't have people want to work with you if you're not going to listen to their stories. And remember, it has to be their stories, not the story you want to hear. Subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube and bookmark ZennyReport.com.